Hey everybody, this is SWChris. I play games that one-up life, and welcome back to the Building Zelda side quest update. This is the side quest update for January 7th, 2015. This week we worked exclusively on the tower. Not a lot of change here, to be honest. There was a lot of trial and error during tonight's live stream. Let's go over the changes a little bit one by one. So first of all, we added a nice little window frame to the wood frame windows here. We added a stone, little almost sort of triangle-like sort of top, and then almost same thing on the bottom. And then we popped the window out one block as well. And then we brought it all the way around, as well as around to the other side. Now this is a little different from what you see inside the tower on the interior version, but that's okay. We're cheating it a little bit just to make it look decent. And speaking of looking decent, we also went ahead and added a few smaller windows up here. They're taller, but they kind of arch together. And we also popped this out just a little bit by adding a frame, just to call a little more attention to this. Because when you add frames to these and you pop these out and you call attention to these, all the other windows are going to want some attention too. And we do want some of the focal point to be up here. So we're kind of going for that. We also added a little bit of a kind of a Triforce sigil right there, although that really should just be smooth. There we go. I'm not sure if we're going to keep it, but that at least takes up space right here. And we can't really put a window right here because on the interior version, there's no window here. Now we could cheat it if we wanted to, but we're not going to. You may also notice we have added some bits and pieces of chiseled stone here. This was actually Captain Zesty's idea. It kind of weathers the tower a little bit, but not in a way that makes it look old. It actually, weirdly enough, if you see how bright and white and smooth it is up here, here it looks actually a little darker. For some reason, the chiseled blocks make this look just a shade darker. This white looks darker, and it looks older. And so once we're done detailing all of this stuff down here, we're going to do the same thing to this and all these towers and all that, just to kind of give it a little more extra oomph, you know. So following that on, we added a little bit more battle damage to this using the same kind of detailing, but we also added in some stone brick stairs. So you can see those peppered in through the battle damage area here, just to show that some brick has been chipped away during the battle where Ganon took over the castle. And finally, well, not finally, next we added this kind of, I call it wainscoting, but I'm forgetting what the actual term is for these kinds of things. You see them all over the Disney World castle and the Disneyland castle, but they go all sorts of different directions. And this just goes around. It's just an experiment to see how it fits. Right now they frame in the windows here, but we would put them elsewhere if we're going to keep this idea around. Not really sure. I'm kind of running out of ideas for how to detail this tower, to be honest. If anybody has any thoughts, I would appreciate pictures and screenshots being tweeted to me over at twitter.com/SWChrisMC. One of the other things that we thought about doing was also adding in maybe a top row of windows around the just below each of the roof sections, and that way that would allow us to kind of create more of a scaling effect. So these would be 3x3, those up there are 2x2, and those up there are 1x1, just to give it the idea, make the castle look even taller than it really is. I mean, it looks huge already, but that just kind of, if you just follow this lineup, it makes it look just really ridiculously tall. And that is also the challenge, because if we're coming up with a design for these windows, it has to scale down to those two sizes up there as well. And that is really tricky, and I'm just kind of running out of ideas. We've got this kind of design here, but it's kind of a diamond shape, which isn't really found elsewhere in any of the architecture. So I don't know if we're going to go with that or not. If we had, 1.9, we would probably be able to just do trapdoors all the way around this, but we don't, so we can't. Sadly, that's kind of how it's going to be. One thing we could do maybe is something like this, but see, yeah, you can't have a trapdoor right there just yet in 1.8. The other thing is we realized that these oak windows are kind of standing alone. There's no other windows in here that are oak right now, and so what we're gonna do to kind of fix that is we're gonna see how these spruce wood slabs are very close in just tint and coloring to the oak, the oak frame. We're gonna change all of this to oak, and all of that on every single tower. We're gonna make it all oak. And so as soon as we figure out how to do that without ruining these staircase pieces, because when I replace them, they all change to the same orientation, and we don't like that. That's not good. So we need to figure out how to use World Edit to change all these over without ruining the orientation. And I have no clue how to do that right now, but we will figure something out, I'm sure. And so that's where we are at the end of this week. Next week, we will continue just kind of work on detailing the tower. Casual streams every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. If you can make it, I would love to see you there. We had a wonderful night tonight with Captain's SC and Hallow and all these other people who stopped into the stream. We had a ton of people, and I'd love to see you there as well. Now, there's one other thing I did want to talk to you about. And so let's go ahead and go into personal mode here. So let's just kind of back in a little close, just so you can see me. See it? There we go. Hi. Okay, now nice and comfy. Oops, I didn't mean to break that. Whatever it was, I'm just not going to touch the keyboard now. Okay. So you may have been wondering, why am I facing the camera and looking at you guys and getting all up in your business? Well, I am actually kind of curious. With the new year, it's basically a good time to look at the channel, see how it's doing, see how I can make the content better, see how I can deliver better content to you. And so I'm curious. If you look in the description of this video, there's going to be a link to a poll. It's going to be a straw poll. And on that straw poll, I have a question that I need to ask you guys. How would you prefer these Building Zelda content updates to be delivered to you? I got to thinking, it might be pretty cool to do a Let's Build series in place of the Thursday evening live stream. And I was curious what you thought of that. Now, neither would replace the cinematics. The cinematics would just happen. But if I did the Let's Build series, I would do it on Thursdays and I wouldn't stream it. Now, that's one option, and I am curious if you're interested in that, because most of the people who watch these videos are actually on YouTube and they aren't doing streaming. But maybe you guys like watching the live streams. Maybe you like the interaction even if you can't really get to it. And I am wondering, would you like that, or would you like me to continue to live stream these and to continue to provide 1 to 2 minute updates each week for you guys? If I did that, I would not do the Let's Build series. So that's kind of the option. I'd love to know what you guys think. And I guess we'll find out the answer next week. You guys have a week to vote. And we'll see you then. Don't forget, the link for that poll is down in the description. Just look for the straw poll link, and it's really easy to fill out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. My name is SWChris. Auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci, hasta la vista. Bye-bye.